That's good.
Alrighty. Hello, everyone. And God, let me mute this iPad.
Keep it in.
No. How do I mute this? There we go. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Up Supercast, the only podcast that cares more about Mario than some old ports than new graphics cards. I'm your host, Muzzy, and joining me today is Brandon.
It's true. He's not right very often, but he's right now.
Els.
It's another day.
And Will.
I don't think we're the only podcast.
Fair enough.
He said it.
If we're the only if I say we're the only podcast, you should know.
It is the power of the intro. You are correct.
Yeah, you very well should know this, Mr. Host. But today I'm hosting. Today is my podcast because, not any particular reason, but I'm gonna say it's because there was a direct. It's just meant to be, you know?
I feel like this has happened before, though.
It's happened before. When Nintendo news drops, I tend to be the one hosting. It's, I don't know. There's something to it.
Will's too scared to host on Nintendo days.
Yeah. So
leave it to the experts.
I guess we'll just start right there. That's the big hullabaloo of this week. There was a big, on Thursday morning, 8 a.m., without any fanfare whatsoever, Nintendo dropped a Super Mario 35th Anniversary Direct straight to YouTube, tweeted about it at the same time, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and boy, did it have a lot of news in it, surprisingly. They have a lot to celebrate in this 35th anniversary. So let's get through it, shall we? I'm just going to go in the order that they went in. I feel like that's easiest. So it's not biggest to smallest or anything, but you know. So they started off right off the bat with a new piece of hardware. The Game & Watch Super Mario Brothers Edition. So it's a little Game & Watch system. It's got a plus control pad, the 2 buttons, has a full color screen, LCD screen, which is, much better than what the Game & Watches used to have.
Sure.
This thing's retailing for $50, coming out November 13th. It's got Super Mario Brothers on it. It's got Super Mario Brothers The Lost Levels on it. You can play Game & Watch Ball with the horrific amalgamation of Mr. Game & Watch and Mario.
Yeah.
And it functions as a clock.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, $50 gets you this little Game & Watch.
With 35 secrets.
35 secrets. The clock has 35 secrets because it's the 35th anniversary. Anyone want to
better
pick
than
this
the
one
fucking
out?
Game Gear Mini.
Yeah.
True.
Way better than that.
I mean, this is happy to see that Switch Pro is real.
Yeah.
And, it's got that 4K resolution like we thought it would last week.
Yep.
No, it's a fun gimmick, right? It's a fun novelty. Game & Watch and Mario have a weird history, right? Did you guys play the Game & Watch galleries?
Gallery
back in
games,
GBA?
Yeah.
Mario is heavily featured in them.
Yeah, so there's something going on.
They have like the remixes with the Mario characters in them.
Yeah.
I think this is a little cool device. I think I'm gonna assume, much like the NES Classic, this thing is going to be hard to get a hold of, though. So I'm not looking forward to that.
This is definitely a novelty item, and Nintendo always underestimates novelty items in terms of how much people want
We've
those.
seen it with Amiibo. We've seen it with the classic consoles. Like this is just... And we saw it even with the Ring Fit, right? I feel like anytime Nintendo produces hardware, they underestimate the demand. Like, that's not like a console, you know? It's just like... so, we'll see. Sure. Hopefully it won't be too hard to get, but I'm going to imagine.
I'm glad that I really... Like, I don't plan on picking one of these up, and I'm glad just because then I don't have to go through that stress. Because I've been through that stress. I have every single Amiibo that's been released in America. I know what that stress is. So,
like a real sap.
Yeah, I've slept outside stores, you know? I know what it's like.
For a Jigglypuff. For
a Jigglypuff, yeah, I did. Slept outside Target. It was very fun. But, yeah, I mean, I'm glad. But it is a cool thing, though. I do like it.
Okay. So the next announcement was an actual game, not a piece of hardware. And that is Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. So this, and I know you're saying, oh, another Wii U port, yeah. But this is actually quite an interesting Wii U port, I feel, because this is the most extensive one we've gotten yet. So first and foremost, it's got online play. That
Yeah, suck it, Muzzy.
I was completely wrong. I did not expect. I don't think anyone expected this. To be
I
honest,
can't wait for you to pay on that bet.
we did not bet on this. But I was very adamant that it wouldn't have online. I was wrong. It has online. I'm excited to play with you guys. We're gonna stream it. That'll be fun. So that's coming out February 12th. So mark your calendars. February 12th, not for the game, but to watch us stream it.
That's how they get me to buy this game a second time.
Yeah, I mean that alone is a game
but-
changer, right? Like that alone makes you want to buy it because hey, play with friends. Yeah, great addition. But that's not all they added, Brandon. Believe it or not, despite as big of an addition as this is, they also added. So they retooled Mario and Gang's movement speed and just his movement abilities. So they run much faster now. You should go check out the clips on Twitter and YouTube because it is actually quite a difference. Mario moves way faster in this version than the Wii U version. And they gave him
all the speed
some
limits now.
Yeah. And they gave him some new moves like the roll from Odyssey.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the dive, the little
Yeah, and the dive. Yeah.
dive.
So just all around the game is sped up and you have more to play around with your movement. I think that's a really good and unexpected addition, right? And finally, of course, this is the biggest one. They put it in the name. They essentially are giving this game an expansion called Bowser's Fury. They're holding details close to their chest right now. They said look forward to hearing more about it later. But from what we could see, it looked like kind of a hub area, and you could definitely see platforming challenges already in that little place. So we don't know if it's like an Odyssey style world or if this is more like a Splatoon style hub world with stuff to do in it, but then you go into separate levels like 3D World, right? Who knows?
I guess it's worth mentioning, it definitely doesn't look like the 3D World hub worlds, right? Because 3D World hub worlds are essentially just walking around a map, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't jump.
This is much more involved. So, like I said, it could be an Odyssey style level, or it could just be they gave you a lot more to do in the hub, like if you've ever played Splatoon, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. This is a great package, I would say.
Extremely cat themed, that Bowser's Fury. Everything's cats. The clouds
Everything
are cats.
is cat themed, yeah.
The bushes
all
are
about
cats.
the cats.
That's how the world should be.
Yeah.
And a lot of the areas seem to only be able to be traversed as Cat Mario or Cat whoever, right? So I wonder if like they kind of just keep you as Cat Mario the whole time or what. Who knows? But seemed pretty cool. I'm into this. 3D World is my favorite Wii U game, right? This was one of the few ports that I truly like. I want this.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm happy that this is the one that's getting the best treatment out of all of them, right?
Wow, this guy thinks 3D World's better than Breath of the Wild. Can't
Okay, Breath of the Wild
Shitting on Pikmin 3.
is technically on the Wii U. Yes, you're right.
Why are you pissing on Pikmin 3?
Look, Pikmin 3 is a great game. It's just 3D World is phenomenal, and I think I really didn't expect this game to get. I figured if anything, Mario is a game that you could have just ported over with no additions, right?
We'll get to
that's
that.
what they did with New Super Mario Brothers, right?
Yeah. Among others.
And
No,
so
it's okay. You're taking away. We had Peachette. Come on.
new funky
that-
mode. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean that Peachette started a movement on the internet.
You're right. Peachette was very important to the culture, so
Man,
we gotta give.
speaking of New Super Mario Brothers, it has to feel so bad right now, right? If you're a fan of that game, because now Mario Maker 2 online, 3D World online. If there's a multiplayer Mario game on this console, it's got online, except for one exception.
Except for New Super Mario Brothers, you're right. That is pretty effed.
What a shit game.
Well,
It's a tragedy.
I am a fan of it, but
That's why I said it.
yeah.
Though, I mean, if I had to pick between New Super Mario Brothers getting multiplayer and 3D World,
Oh yeah, 3D World in a heartbeat, right? I would much rather play
Easiest
3D
layup of my
World
life.
online. And that's such an unexpected addition. I am so excited for this. I'm very much looking forward to the sport. Well, and after that, there's more stuff to announce. Another game.
Hold on.
Holding.
I want to say briefly about the movement thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you think this is like do you think this is like a feedback thing, or do you think they're like they loaded it up on Switch and they're like, you know what, the Switch can run this game faster. Actually, we can just make the game be faster.
What if it is a technical issue? I mean, sometimes you don't realize like things that are technical issues, right? Like Mario Kart 8, they straight up said like we could not the Wii U at the fidelity that we put Mario Kart 8 at, we could not have the characters hold 2 items at a time, right?
Yeah.
And that was something they could literally only do because of the hardware bump to the Switch. Maybe it is just like we could just run this now.
I feel like it might be. But ever since they talked about Spider-Man's swing speed being determined by the like loading times of the drive, I've been thinking about this.
You're like, what other like limitations am I just not noticing, right? Like, what more does extra hardware afford a developer to do that you just don't realize? Yeah. That's coming out in February.
What's left on the Wii U that you wish was ported? Because I know the only thing left for me is Xenoblade X.
I literally only want Wind Waker HD. That's it. I don't like... But like, in terms of what's left, it's truly just Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Xenoblade X. Like, maybe some fringe games like Yoshi's Woolly World and like...
Game & Wario.
Fatal Frame. I feel like the rest of the games left just so heavily use the gamepad, though, right? Like, you're not porting Star Fox Zero, right?
No.
You're not porting Nintendo Land. You know?
You shouldn't. Yeah.
And Color Splash is like, who cares?
Who cares about... Exactly. So, yeah, I really think it's just the 2 Zelda remakes and Xenoblade that are the only worthwhile ports left, to be honest. We're almost there. We are... Nintendo can no longer rely on Wii U ports pretty soon.
We can erase the Wii U from our collective memory very soon.
Yeah, very soon.
Goodbye.
Very soon. So, they also announced some more games, though, that we're not done quite yet, because a digital-only game free for Nintendo Switch Online subscribers, Super Mario Bros. 35. So this game is, very similar in concept to Tetris 99. You have 35 people at once playing Super Mario Brothers. The things you do affect the other players, so you can screw them over in that way. The UI seems very similar to Tetris 99. You could tell it's the same. You could tell Arika is making this. So 35 players playing Super Mario Brothers at the same time. However, this will only run from October 1st to March 31st. After March 31st, they are taking this game down. So that is to be noted.
That's a trend, by the way.
Yeah.
And I will say that this is like the biggest surprise for me of the whole thing, because I mean, some things were leaked, and I hadn't heard anything about this, so this really
it came out of nowhere, right?
Yeah. And I'm really excited to play this. It seems like a lot of fun. I'm interested to see more of like how it works. Like, is it just who gets the furthest in Mario Brothers? Who just lasts the longest?
So it seems like whoever lasts the longest. So like,
So you just keep playing.
You're
Mario
just gonna keep playing Mario 1 until everyone's dead. You have to be the last Mario standing.
Well,
Can
part
you
of
beat
it
the game?
Part of it seems to be timer based, because whenever you're collecting coins, whenever you're killing enemies, there's a +2 to your little timer, right?
Yeah.
And like you start with like 30 seconds, right? So I think the idea is like you can send junk as well in the form of like enemies that get sent to other people's stages, right? But I think the primary way you're going to be dying is you're not doing enough things to keep adding to your timer, right?
Right.
But if you're sending like enemies to the other people, aren't you just increasing their timer?
I mean, it's like a double-edged sword, kind of like with Tetris.
Tetris.
You're sending extra garbage, but also you can give them bigger opportunities to get line clears, in Tetrises and stuff. So
I'm sure they figured out the balance, though. I'm not worried too much about that, but
we'll see.
35 player, Battle Royale Super Mario Brothers. That's an interesting concept. Kind of came out of nowhere.
Well, it's funny. Nintendo DMCA. There was a Mario Battle Royale that was online, right? That a guy made. And it got DMCA, and everyone said, "Oh, what are they doing? Right? Why would you do this? You're never gonna make a Mario Battle Royale, Nintendo." Well, it turns out they did.
Because that's exactly what they were doing. They were making their
same
own
thing
Mario
happened with another Metroid 2 remake. Same thing happened, right? But I do think it's interesting. Do you think? Obviously, Tetris 99 has been a big success for them, right?
Yeah.
This is clearly in and continuing on that path. This is obviously only going till March, but do you think this could start like a lineage of like here's old games with Battle Royale applied to them, right? Like this Mario Brothers this year, but like next year somehow it's like Zelda because it's Zelda's anniversary next year, right?
Or maybe like at March they have another one ready for you already.
Yeah.
I hope so, because I am so baffled that they're taking this down, you know?
Yeah.
But because, and to be fair, this has been a precedent for Nintendo before. Like, to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Zelda, they released a Four Swords remake of sorts for the DSi, right?
Yeah.
And they said, we're going to take it down in 6 months, and lo and behold, they took it down, right?
Yeah.
So it's a limited time only affair. But I think the difference is, though, Super Mario Bros. 35 is something that is potentially going to drive subscriptions for your online service.
Yeah.
You know? And so you're giving people a reason to subscribe and then taking it down 6 months later. I just don't see the sense in that. You know?
Yeah. I mean, because it happens to coincide almost exactly with, like, because Nintendo Switch Online launched in September, right?
Uh-huh.
And then this launches on the 1st of October, right? So there's almost like perfectly 6 months for each of for like, you know, that line up with when people's subs will be up.
Right.
So I wonder if that's intentional or not, right? But
I mean, maybe they take. I mean, my hopeful take on this is that they replace it with something that's more than 35 players. They're just using 35 for the anniversary, and then they're like, "Hey, here's Mario, I don't know, 50 or 99 or whatever."
99 would be chaos.
Yeah. That's probably not what's going to happen, but
Yeah, I would not expect it. But
No, Super Mario 128 is finally happening.
oh, there you know. That would be phenomenal if they replaced Mario 35 with Mario 128. That would be. I would applaud them. You know,
The dream is still alive.
yeah, the dream is still alive. Oh boy. Don't home for that though. But I think this is such a cool product, and I'm looking forward to playing it, and then looking forward to being bummed that it's gone.
Yeah.
Then they announced a brand new game coming this October, Mario Kart Live Home Tour. What? A new Mario Kart game? But Mario Kart ain't selling so well. Well, not exactly. It's a spin-off. It is so basically you have a RC car Mario Kart, right? Mm-hmm. And it comes with little course parts, and you put them around your living room or wherever. And it has a camera, and you control the Mario Kart with your Switch, with the game software, and you can see on the camera, whatever's on the camera feed, you can see on your Switch, and you're racing a little AR racers,
Opponents,
right?
yeah.
Opponents, and basically whatever happens in the game that you're playing, it'll apply to the real life Mario Kart. So you're driving around in real space, right? But that's not all. Mm-hmm. An opponent throws a shell at you, you'll spin out, so you'll stop for a while, right? You get a mushroom, you boost, suddenly your RC car goes a little bit faster, right? Mm-hmm. A really cool little AR Mario Kart experience. $100, you can get a Mario or Luigi version, and it's 2 players, so if you have both Mario and Luigi, 2 people can play the game together.
Yeah.
Or probably 2 Marios, too.
Yeah. I shouldn't say just Mario and Luigi. Yeah. But
I'm
2
guessing
players.
each person needs a Switch.
Yeah,
Yes,
I would assume so. I don't know the exact details.
Yeah, they confirmed you both need Switches.
Okay, so you both need your own Switch. You both need your own copy of the game. You both need your own thing. So it's $100 coming out October 16th. This is cool. I don't really have much words for it. It's just
I guess
neat.
the other thing, you make the course yourself, right?
Yes.
They give you gates, and the game can determine where those gates are, and then sort of makes a track through that, right?
Yes.
Which if that works smoothly, that's really cool, right?
And it kind of gives you infinite layouts for your little Mario Kart course, right?
I already saw
you put
people
those-
getting really cute with it, right? They're like, I'm buying little plastic cows to make Moo Moo Meadows in my Mario Kart thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I bet you could, this will be really great for, little arts and crafts projects to really bring your course to life, right? Mm-hmm. There's definitely a lot of possibilities here. I'm looking forward to seeing online what people do with it.
Yeah, that's like the main draw to me because I don't see myself ever playing this. It doesn't really appeal to me at all. But yeah, like watching other people do crazy shit with it is probably the best thing that's gonna come from it for me.
I will say Mario Kart RC toys are already a pretty hot commodity for children. I think that turning that into an AR experience on the Switch is genius, just in terms of like great product for the holiday season, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, if I had a kid, and this is one of the only things that actually makes me wish I had a kid. Not a big kid person. But, like, you know, if I did, this would be something I absolutely would be like, oh my god, I can buy it for my kid, but also, like, I can play it, you know? It's like one of those things where you, like, you wouldn't buy it for yourself, but you do want to try it out, so it's, like, even better if you have a kid. So, like, you can play, you know, buy it for them, but also get to share that with them and all that, but, like, yeah, kids are gonna love this. If I was a kid right now, I'd be flipping out about
this. Would be number one on my wish list right now, right? If I'm looking at Christmas, I'm like, what do I want? This is the game. This is what I want. You know.
Like as an adult, and then just like I'm like, I don't really want. I mean, it's probably like kind of shallow. You know, the experience. It's probably fun and works well, but like how much are you gonna get out of it? And also, I just don't want to have like all this stuff.
Yeah, you don't have this giant fucking RC car that you're not using. Just like I don't have space for this.
Like, I mean, you could like display it, but then you have like all the gates and stuff, and like where do you put them?
Yeah,
and, like,
it's a whole hassle.
Do you have even enough room to really do it? So it's like one of those things.
But seems like fun, especially for kids.
For kids, this is gonna do great. I mean, kids are gonna love this. It's awesome.
Sure thing.
Then they went on a little bit of a roll of all the kind of ways that they're celebrating the 35th anniversary, starting with so Mario Maker, Smash Brothers, Splatoon, and Animal Crossing are all getting Mario themed events. So Mario Maker is getting a Ninja speedrun event centered around there. Smash Brothers is going to be doing like a versus challenge cup using Mario characters, Mario items, Mario stages, and then the cool ones are the latter two. So Splatoon. Despite them saying Splatfests are over, they are bringing back Splatfest.
They've done two more also.
Yeah, in the meantime, they have
done two more.
They have run back some previous Splatfests. They just redid them, right?
Yeah.
But this is the first brand new Splatfest.
Brand new one.
Since the Final Fest they did in July 2019, the 2-year anniversary of the game. So January 2021, basically 18 months later, kind of crazy. They're doing a brand new Splatfest. It's Mario themed, celebrating the anniversary. It's going to be which power up do you prefer? Team Super Mushroom or Team Superstar? What are you picking? I'm going Super.
Star.
I'm going Mushroom.
Star, baby. Gotta pick the star. I mean, the star gives you invincibility.
The mushroom is objectively more useful.
The mushroom,
but
it's the backbone.
So cool. You flash colors and you do.
For 8 seconds, and then what?
It's all flat.
Normal.
It's all sizzle, no stick.
Invincibility, though, baby.
And then you miss.
I don't care if you got a mushroom. You want to come at me with? If I got a star and you're gonna come at me with a mushroom, I'll whoop
I can just run away for 5 seconds.
You mistime it. The star runs out. Suddenly you're a weakling.
Yes.
I think if you're a member of the Jump Up Supercast, which is named after the Jump Up Superstar song, you have to pick Superstar.
I mean.
Hills gets it. Hills gets
right.
Yeah, this is the situation of all steak, no sizzle, right? Which is the mushroom, and there's just all sizzle, no steak with the star, right? It's just it's a worldview. You know what I'm saying?
Your worldview.
I'll see you on the battlefield. All right.
Well, I'm gonna be wearing my Puma RS Dreamer Super Mario 64 things on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Me too, and I'm gonna be repping Team Star, wearing my shirt. I'm going to be spraying that yellow paint everywhere, baby. Everything's going to be yellow.
They're also doing physical rewards for this Splatfest. So on My Nintendo, they're going to have little keychains and T-shirts to buy.
So awesome.
Fun little stuff.
Can you use your
Nintendo reward for the keychains, right?
Yeah, the keychains are a My Nintendo reward, and then you can purchase the T-shirts.
Can't wait to see how fucking terrible that goes. They're going to be sold out in 2 seconds.
Yeah, they're doomed.
Fun.
Buying the Splatfest, the Final Fest T-shirts they did not have much.
They were 6 shirts.
Do you have to purchase them? It's going to cost like real money. You can't just cash in for points, right?
We don't know yet. Well, the T-shirts are just online purchase. You just go to the store and you purchase them.
I know the T-shirts.
But we don't know. We don't know about the keychains just yet.
The
Imagine
keychains
fucking
at the
physical
bottom,
reward
they
finally.
say. At the bottoms, they say a Nintendo account is required to receive and redeem My Nintendo points.
Okay, so that should be.
Finally, we're gonna get a fucking physical.
Well, we do have
after
physical
all these
reward, and
years.
I will get to that in just a second. But before that, and then Animal Crossing in March, the anniversary of the game, we are getting Mario themed furniture. So Nintendo furniture, at least Mario themed, is back. So
Yeah.
look forward to that.
Are we due for a fall update for Animal Crossing?
We are due for a fall update in Animal Crossing. That should be coming.
Yeah, probably gonna get it in October though.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume October as well, but it's coming. It's coming. So yeah, that's all the in-game events that they're doing. Fun little stuff. And then they have a whole bunch of merch. I'm not gonna go through them all, but there's a lot. Whether you want shoes or board games or clothes or Legos, they got you covered. So plenty of stuff to buy. And they're doing missions. So if you go on My Nintendo, on the My Nintendo, the Mario 35th Anniversary website, you can do little missions. And if you do them, you will receive physical rewards. The first one being a pin set. So
Oh, baby.
get a little 35th Anniversary pin set. How fun is that?
I do love to
Cool.
pierce my skin with as many pins as possible.
Very cool.
so.
How much you want bet? All this shit is sitting around, and they had all of it made, and they were going to give it out at E3, and now they got surplus.
That's
Honestly,
actually a good theory.
That's an incredibly good idea.
These were for E3 attendees, and they go, oh my god,
Yeah.
that's totally it.
That's totally it.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Well, and then they
that's
closed off the
nice.
direct. We got two more announcements. One thing, Super Mario All-Stars, the Super Nintendo upgraded version of Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, Lost Levels, and 3
I'm
got
putting
dropped
quotation marks
on the
around
Nintendo
upgraded,
Switch
by the way.
Online Super Nintendo app that same day. So you can play All-Stars. Now, I would say don't play the All-Star versions of those games, but I am a purist.
Maybe Lost Levels?
Maybe Lost Levels, but like they legitimately effed up the physics on a lot of them, and Mario 3 in particular.
Don't tell Saf. Don't let Saf hear this.
Mario 3, look, the art direction is much worse. Like they ruined a lot of the thematic levels. Very disappointing. I don't like that version at all. I know people are like, oh, it looks better because it's prettier, 16-bit, but no, play the NES versions.
Yeah, I mean, they're already available on the fucking
Yeah.
NES thing, so.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all available, right? You could pick and choose, but I'm just saying, I wouldn't play. But that's
It's
not
almost
the
added
only
as
collection of Mario games.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo, we've heard about this. This has been rumored for ages. We probably talked about it on the podcast
We did.
before.
We have.
But it's finally been announced. Super Mario 3D All-Stars, packing in Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy for one nice retail package, $59.99, coming out in 2 weeks, September 18th. How the hell why did they keep this so close until 2 weeks before launch? I don't know. But that's not the only weirdness about this product, because once it goes on sale from September 18th, you only have until March 31st to purchase this product. This is not just a limited physical run. They will be taking it off of the eShop on March 31st. So if you do not buy a copy in the next 6 months, you will not have this game on your Switch.
What the hell does Nintendo know about March that's gonna happen to them?
Something's going on.
You know, Pokemon Go came in 2016, terrible year. Animal Crossing coincided with COVID. Clearly, Nintendo, there's something going on, you know? So, Doomsday Sayers, I would say mark your calendars, March 31st. Some shit's going down.
It's as legitimate as anything else they believe.
Because, you know.
That's me.
Yeah. So this is... So before we talk about the weirdness of it, let's just talk about the collection, I guess. This has been so long rumored. What are your thoughts? I should say the improvements, quote unquote, which is not many, but they are there.
These are the games as you remember them.
Yeah,
And nothing more.
these are very
Nothing
much
more.
the games as you remember them. So Mario 64 got the least amount of upgrades. All these games are running in HD now. Mario 64 in 720p. Mario Sunshine and Galaxy in 1080p, so they've all been upscaled. Mario 64 is based off of the Shindo version, which I don't remember the exact differences, but Mario no longer says "So long, Gay Bowser."
Sad.
He now says "Bye-bye." I know,
Bye-bye.
pretty big downgrade.
Yes, but because Bowser's not gay, he's bi, so he made sure he corrected it.
Yeah, you're right. Bowser's
respectful.
reevaluated his
Yeah.
sexuality, and Mario's just respecting.
Yeah, we
that.
respect.
We respect Bowser's sexuality. Okay, on this
exactly.
podcast, we let it be known. In addition, a lot of the textures are cleaned up from the original version. The M on Mario's cap is no longer asymmetrical. Now it's just a symmetrical M. So,
It's
Soulless.
got Rumble.
It's
That
got
was the big
Rumble,
thing, I
yeah,
think,
that is the big
the
change.
Shindo version had Rumble,
Yeah.
which was like the big reason for that re-release. So.
Yep. So
What a different time, you know?
yeah, when you could repackage a game just to have Rumble in it. What a time. So that's Mario 64's upgrade. Mario Sunshine got its widescreen now, which was not part of the original release, right? Mm-hmm. So that's definitely nice. Like I said, it's 1080p. I don't know if they cleaned anything else up. I can't tell from the footage, personally. If anything else has changed.
The UI has been cleaned up.
Okay, the UI's been cleaned up.
those are
Actually, I
HD.
was going to ask about that, but I wonder how Flood works now, because in the GameCube original, he had
Analog
two modes,
triggers.
right? And depending on how long you held the trigger down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder. I guess we'll have an answer soon, right?
Yeah.
So in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we will.
I've been wondering that too, and people have been wondering that online. You know, you could use the GameCube controller like you normally can as a Pro controller, but it doesn't give like analog to the shoulder buttons. So.
No.
Yeah. So it is not. It does
And,
not.
and they couldn't release it with that as the assumption, right? That you have a GameCube adapter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
you can't do that.
So
If I were to take a guess, I don't know. Essentially, in Mario Sunshine, the way I've played it, I played Mario Sunshine a lot, is there's a button you can press to go over the shoulder with Flood, right? And you lock it in place, but you use the stick to aim more tightly, right? I wouldn't be shocked if they just make that the default way for if you fully depress it, right? That's like your stationary
Right.
mode, and then the mode where you run around and are spraying is just tapping R, right?
I mean, it's worth noting the Switch does have more buttons available,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was gonna say.
You have a minus button. You have an extra shoulder button.
Yeah.
You just have more to work with in general. So there, I'm sure there's workarounds that they have come up with. We'll see soon enough.
I mean, I
They
think
had to have, yeah.
we'll get to this as we go, I think, right? But because the last game is Galaxy, right? Go ahead. Sorry, explain that first before I.
Yeah, and Mario Galaxy got probably the least amount of changes. So the only thing really is that you can use. So the way they figured the way they're doing the point. So it is going to be 1080p. The game was already widescreen, so that's not a difference, right? But the way they're doing the motion controls, basically most things that were mapped to motion are no longer, but the pointer has now been mapped to the gyroscope if you're playing in handheld or tabletop mode, and if you're, in TV or tabletop mode, and if you're playing in handheld mode, the pointer is mapped to the touch screen. But if you play with Joy-Con separated, it'll be very similar to the Wii version. But yeah, that's all Galaxy got.
But
Otherwise,
even more comfortable because you don't have a wire between the two, which was
True.
nice.
Yeah.
This because what I was gonna say is Mario is interesting because it's sort of since 64, right? 64 was literally in development before the 64, the system itself was in development, right?
Yeah.
So the controller was made with Mario 64 in mind, and since then, 3D Mario has sort of always tried to justify the gimmick of the controller at the time, right? So games
That is
like
true.
you
I
said-
mean, like Mario Galaxy very much makes use of the Wii remote, right? Mario Sunshine makes use of the game. I mean, even Mario Odyssey, they make a point to when you start up the game, be like, you should use the Joy-Con,
Yeah.
right? Because the Joy-Con got extra functionality for it. The 3D Mario games in particular definitely like to utilize the controller to the max.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's what you would expect from Nintendo, right?
Yeah, that's the flagship game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's the
flagship
game
thing
that
for their
that's
console. So
for sure.
but it's interesting just because then
But then it makes it harder in the future.
and it might be why
then you
we
come
said
across-
there are 3 games here and not 4 because Galaxy 2 is conspicuously missing, right?
Yeah, Galaxy 2 is missing. We should be noted. And there's not much in the way of extras. There's a music player, so you get basically all the music from all 3 games that you could just play. Kind of Smash Bros. Music player style, right?
Yeah.
But that seems to be the only extra that this package is offering.
Yeah.
All in all, so this is a $60 package, right? What do you guys kind of feel about like the value proposition here?
It's too expensive. I'm still gonna buy it because I'm chill and I'm a dumbass.
Wow.
But
No, I
it is
don't
too
think you're a
expensive.
dumbass for buying it. I think I don't think that's true.
Well,
But it is too expensive because you look at a game like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro Reunited Trilogy, right?
Yeah.
Both of those games had 3 games
Yeah.
completely remade,
Uh-huh.
completely redone.
Yeah, from the ground up. It
From
is
the
like
ground up.
yeah.
And those are $40 retail, you know?
Yeah.
Which was
They
a mistake.
Knew, hey, we're releasing a bunch of very old video games. Yeah, we were redoing them, but, we want to give people, like, a good deal here.
Yeah.
They're games that probably people have played.
Yeah.
And, $40 is a very good price. And
Well, I will say, I want to
Activision
roll
is
back
kicking
on something
themselves,
real quick
though.
that you said. And you said it's probably. I don't think they were doing it to be nice or to like give people a good deal. I think it was we don't know how the market is going to respond to Crash Bandicoot. We don't know how the market's going to respond to Spyro the Dragon. They've been gone for so long. And so $40 came out of a thing of we don't know how much this is going to sell. We got to do the most we can to get people to buy this thing. Right?
But also,
Whereas
that's the smart idea when you're selling a bunch of old games.
well, I think we have to separate from what we want as consumers, which is fair, with when we're trying to analyze the business sense of it, right? Because if we're talking about the business sense of it, I mean, it's Mario. It's gonna sell a lot, right? Like
and the fact that it's a limited release, which is the reason why I'm buying it, because it's limited. That's it.
because it's limited. I mean, Nintendo knows what they're doing, right?
Yep.
Like this is going to be a big seller. This is immediately going to be one of the best-selling Switch games, right?
Yeah.
And I think that Nintendo, to their credit, whether you like it or not, I'm gonna guess you don't. I don't like this.
Yeah.
The value on their games, they have worked really hard to keep it at a certain value, right? They don't drop the games in price. They hardly ever put games on sale, right? And that eventually pays off to them with something like this when they're able to do something like this, right? Because then I think people see 3 Mario games for $60 and they're like, whoa, 3 Mario games for $60? They don't see
already
it as...
built the expectation there, so like
Yeah,
it's easy
like,
for them to take
Also,
on.
they've done it in the past where they gave you even a better deal because they had Super Mario All-Stars.
I mean, yeah, the original Mario All-Stars like
also,
30
they had
years
a pack that
ago.
was Super Mario All-Stars in Super Mario World.
Yeah, 30 years ago, Brandon.
Yeah,
30 years ago. Like,
but 30 years ago they were giving you a better deal. You know?
I guess, but I mean, times have changed. Nintendo's a company
It wasn't
that
30
you know.
years.
To,
Oh, by the
to
way.
me, I think the pricing is like largely fine, right? The scarcity is, I think, the thing that I'm more umbrage with, right? Which is that because there's been a lot of talk about like NES stuff. Is that the NES Classic, Super NES Classic? Are those intentional scarcity things? I always said no. That was just Nintendo being dumb, right? This is a situation where I mean, who knows what the long term of this is if Mario 64 is added to NSO online, right? Who knows?
Are they going
right?
to sell these separately later down the line? Maybe.
Yeah, but either way, like I think sort of feeling like you have to buy it now is very
It's
scummy in a way.
It's a
scummy
little
in a way,
scummy, for sure.
Yeah, it's the most scummy part of all this to me, right?
Yeah, and I think so. I guess we're just going to move on to talking about the release strategy, I guess. But yeah. So I mean, this game is not going to be available after March 31st, right?
Uh-huh.
This is a game that if you don't buy it by then, you can't buy it ever. And I think is baffling. It's just baffling, right? They've never done something like this before, right?
Yeah.
Where they're selling you a $60 game and they're like, you can only buy it for a limited time. But I wonder, like, I think Nintendo's a company that very much models themselves after Apple and Disney, right?
Yeah.
I think those tend to be the closest analogs. And I think they look at the Disney Vault, right, as a way that Disney the reason the Disney Vault exists is to keep, I guess, the value of those properties, right? So I wonder if is that a move based off of that, right?
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, Nintendo, the last big anniversary collections I remember off the top of my head was like Kirby, right, back on the Wii, had one, right, and Mario All-Stars, and then like Zelda anniversary collection on GameCube, right? And to my memory, those were both also limited runs, right?
Yeah, those were all limited releases, but we've never seen a limited release in the digital era.
Yes, that's the difference maker, right? Is suddenly you're like, oh, this thing that's supposed to, the whole appeal of digital is it's eternal, right?
Yeah.
And Nintendo has to actively choose to take it down by themselves. And suddenly it's like, oh, so this wasn't just like, we're doing a limited run. It's like, oh, this was an intentional strategy, you know?
Yeah, because if you think about it like that, it isn't really that different from doing a traditional limited release that things have gotten before in the past. But yeah, digital just changes the game, and it makes it definitely seem way more frustrating, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, because with the physical thing, you can kind of justify it of, oh, you have to print this thing, right? That takes effort. Production isn't something that you could just at a snap of a finger, right? So it makes sense for things to be limited if they're being physically printed. There's no real excuse for this, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not costing you anything to just keep this on the eShop server for people to buy.
Hello?
Hello? Did I crash?
You did.
I didn't stop recording, but I didn't stop talking, so if you talk...
So you just continue saying what you're saying.
Yeah, I have finished my thought when so the last thing I said was there's no sense in a digital game being taken down because it's not like it costs them any money to like keep it on the servers or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But like you were saying, like customer, what we want versus what is good for business sense. And business sense, I think this is going to pay off.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Right, I legitimately think this is going to be a monster seller, and I do think the limited release is gonna play a big part in it.
Yeah. Well, I do, to be slightly more positive on it, right? Because I think that
you
because
guys being pretty positive in saying that it's gonna pay off.
Well, no, but on a personal, on like the consumer side.
It's very
of things.
anti-consumer, is what.
No, yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that, but like on the consumer side of things, right? Because there's that, and then there's also like these things aren't like heavily upgraded, right? And there's disappointment I've seen a lot on in more hardcore circles about that, right? And part of that is we've been aware of this basically since April, right? And so with time and getting to sort of ferment on this comes expectations, right? But I do think that for a lot of people, there is just a genuine, especially for that wider audience of people, 3 Mario games that are 3 of their favorite games, right? And I think the difference maker, I'm sorry, Crash and Spyro, is that like 2 of 3 of these games have genuine claims to be some of the most important or like best games that have come out in the last 20 years, right?
Ever. I mean,
yeah, and.
Yeah, there's always like a aspect to like inside baseball kind of thing where like when you're so into like the meta, the deep lore of the community, you might get lost on how it feels to like be outside of the community, but like see these games come back and like, oh shit, like it's a huge.
Absolutely.
I mean, the reception.
I know I am.
I think to their credit, the reception has been overwhelmingly positive. Right, like these things are getting the collection in particular is getting so many views on social media, so many positive mentions on social media. Right, I mean, CNN put out like their daily news little update, right, and it was like 400,000 coronavirus deaths expected in the U.S. by January. Government shutdown imminent. Oh, and Mario is back. Like what?
It was such a weird twist. Yeah,
Mario just hits the like. I mean, I think that this product is hitting the mainstream in a way that we just can't understand, right?
Yeah.
Because we're just so deep into it, right?
Yeah. I mean, and so
Yeah.
like I almost don't I never expected it to be like a full-on remake once I heard it was this collection, right, for like Mario 64. The one thing I wish that they had more of is that those older collections, especially the Wii ones, the Kirby and the Mario All-Stars collections, had a really cool museum modes, right? Just going over the history of it, right? And I think it would be really cool if there was more of that, right? Because
like Sonic Mega Collection was a very good version.
But like,
Yeah.
this
You
isn't
have,
even like
comics you could read. You can look at the digital instruction books of every game, and you could watch like promos and TV things and interviews from developers and stuff. Like all that stuff was just so cool, And I feel like that should be stuff that should be included in this because it's like, this is a celebration of the 35th anniversage of Mario, And it's
arguably the most important franchise in video games.
Yeah,
right?
you can't tell me they don't have like archives of footage of stuff they could play, just so much that could be included. I think that would have been.
And it's baffling because the Mario All-Stars re-release on Wii 10 years ago for the 25th anniversary was also pretty mediocre. And
this is also honestly a ripoff if you think about it. It's like $50 for.
Yeah, it was $50. It was just a straight ROM. They didn't even at least this one they're updating the UI for switch buttons, right? That was straight up just the same SNES UI. Everything was exactly the same. But like, it's so weird to me that Mario, now we have two Mario collections in a row that are just so slapdash, like, here you go, just throw it out there, and this is their biggest franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the point is they don't need it. They don't need to do any of that for it.
They don't need to. I mean, it's going to sell millions, but also...
But it's like, man, Mario deserves more. He's super fucking Mario,
Fucking Sonic Mega Collection. Are you going to tell me Sonic's going to do a better job than Mario? What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, because it's weird, because the last anniversary for Mario was 2015, which was Mario Maker year, right?
Yeah.
And they did a lot of, they tied in the making of Mario to Mario Maker, right, and sort of the history of it. But I wish that was, and there was something like that I wish was in the game, right? And I wish there was. 2D Mario has been really well tread, right? Rightly so, in terms of the history of how it started, where it came from. But a lot of 3D Mario, especially the post 64, they kind of play close to the chest about, and I was kind of hoping that we would get to see, hey, how do you come up with a galaxy, right? Galaxies, where's the idea of planetoids come from, right?
The best we got was Iwata Asks, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? And you should have done the Giga Leak, Will.
I should have Giga Leaked all the Wii stuff. That's what we're really looking for.
No, you shouldn't have. Nintendo now is so upset about. They're so upset about the Giga Leak that they're like, look, well, you guys just.
You ruined it.
I messed up. I'm sorry.
You ruined
everyone.
it for everyone.
We shouldn't have talked about it on the podcast.
Because we covered it. We single-handedly caused it.
They got mad at
Will hacked them.
I also did hack. I hacked them so we talk about it on the podcast. I struggle a lot for news some weeks, so I get desperate.
And it's understandable. Any last thoughts on Super Mario's anniversary, the direct itself, anything?
I mean, one big positive that we sort of didn't we blew by a little bit. This is out in 2 weeks. That's insane.
This is out in 2 weeks. That is crazy. The fact that they didn't announce this product until 2 weeks before launch, this breaks any sort of pattern, any trend that they've had, right?
This is their holiday title, and it was announced 2 weeks before release.
Yeah.
Speculation is dead. It's worthless. Why are we trying?
We are in unprecedented time. Nintendo can announce a game on Twitter, and it's out in 2 weeks. And
it's already passed the lifetime sales of Origami King in 18 hours on Amazon. I already did it. Might even try.
So,
I was just gonna ask, do you think there's any kind of dissonance between physical and digital when it comes to limited releases? Is there any right way to do it now? Can you even do a limited release in digital?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can without pissing people off. Because, like I said, I think there's a reason that physical things get limited. You have to physically print it, right?
Yeah.
There's just not an excuse with digital.
There's a purpose to limited release.
Yeah, there's a purpose. Right. But I think, it's hard because this is going to be successful, right? And so you have to imagine Nintendo's looking at that and being like, can we do this with Zelda? Can we do this with whatever, right? Is this going to be a potential strategy for them going forward? I don't know. It could be. But
do you always have to piss people off? Like,
but I know I don't think there's a way that you could do this without.
There's no way you
pissing
can do
people
it
off.
now, right?
No, I don't think you can do it without pissing people off. If they do that,
yeah, unless it's like an
we and every
addition
other
or something.
podcast on the internet will be out there complaining about it. YouTubers will be mad about it. Forum posters will be mad about it. There's just no way you can do it without riling people up, I think.
Yeah.
So that's like a relic of the past now, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess on a final note too, I guess I'm excited for Zelda 35 because there was a lot of people being like, they're not doing anything for Mario for his anniversary, right? And then I mean, yeah, we have umbrage with the collection, right? But everything else, like they're doing it up. They made the eShop Mario themed.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're going hard on the anniversary, and I assumed they were going to go harder pre-COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know for a fact a lot of this stuff was planned much earlier, right? They were going to do a big physical event back in April, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, obviously this got delayed to September, and we're just in a world where you can't do this kind of big physical celebration, which if they had completely planned around that, I mean, they were going to open a damn theme park, right?
Still coming.
Still coming,
right.
but like obviously it couldn't happen in the anniversary year, right?
Yeah.
You know, we were going to hear about them. They had much bigger plans than they got, and even still, they were still able to do a lot despite all that. I'm excited to see what they plan for Zelda. Hopefully they can work, like, they'll go in with in mind, okay, well, you know, we're probably not going to... You cannot plan for E3, basically, right?
Yeah.
I think it's also part of the thing is, like, you know, you just kind of have to plan around, like, doing your own thing and doing it digitally. But
Yeah.
I hope they also go all out for Zelda. That would be fun.
And Zelda will have a tentpole, right? It'll have Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
2.
I mean, Zelda will have a
right?
brand new release, hopefully. I assume next year.
Please, God.
Zelda theme park when?
When?
Actually, though, Zelda and Animal Crossing and Pokemon, why are they not part of Nintendo?
Give me some goddamn rock climbing walls.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Any last thoughts on Nintendo anniversaries? Anything?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. We're not going to cover this too much because most of the people in this room don't care, but also we don't have much time. NVIDIA did an event at the beginning of the week, September 1st. They unveiled new graphics cards. The RTX 3000 series, codenamed Ampere. And I think they are notable for two reasons, which is why I'm bringing them up. Number one, the price and performance of these cards completely blew away expectations. So these things are more powerful, far more powerful than the last generation of cards. It's a much bigger gap than we're used to for graphics cards. And what's notable is the $500 card, the 3070, is more powerful than the 2080 Ti, which was the most powerful card of the last generation of cards, which released at $1,200. So this $500 card outclasses this $1,200 card that they were selling a year ago. Right?
We're already shitting on PS5.
And that's the other thing, is these things just completely destroy the Xbox Series X, and especially the PS5. Which is notable because the PS5 and Xbox Series X are going all in on power. That's all we've heard about this time around, right? Is how we're closing the gap. The CPU is not going to be a problem anymore. The SSD, like, we're catching up in sheer power to PCs, right? And they're going to be releasing the most pretty expensive consoles, and yet PC immediately will just blow right past it, you know? And I think that is quite notable. And these things are releasing this month, right? So graphics cards that release before the new consoles are going to blow away the new consoles, you know? So
Yeah.
that's all there is to that, but I just thought that was pretty notable.
Well, Moose, you follow this stuff closer than I do. Did they explain, like, the tech behind how they're able to do this breakthrough with this pricing?
I don't believe so, no. And
that's a trade secret, I
the
imagine,
inside baseball
right?
of how they were able to get to that performance target. Though some people think it's because AMD is actually giving them competition this time, so Nvidia is just going like, look, we're showing you why we're the king, essentially. Mm-hmm. Competition's good in that regard, I guess.
Yeah.
And the other thing and then they did show some actual cool software side of things that these things can do. I think one of the most notable things was the RTX IO, which basically, you've heard all about how the PS5 SSD is going to change the game, right? Mm-hmm. Essentially, this allows PCs to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. Which, cool. You know?
Okay. Cool.
Dang.
But, yeah, I really think it just came about because AMD has, like, been creeping up on their shoulder, basically. Mm-hmm. And unlike on the CPU side, where Intel just kind of stayed stagnant, NVIDIA has decided that's not a good thing. We should, we need to actually prove ourselves, so. Mm-hmm. Good on NVIDIA. Somehow graphics card maker made one of the best presentations of this summer, so.
We did it. There it is.
Good for them. Mm-hmm. All right, and that's the news for the week. But we have one more thing to do, of course, as we do every week, and that is the list.
The list.
Jesus Christ.
Check it out follow us along in the Pastebin link in the description below. You're gonna want to click it. You're gonna want to follow along because otherwise you'll have no idea what's going on. Because in the list, we have a set of games. Every week we add to it, and basically we rank it against every other game we've ever added. So definitely want to check that out. Last week, what did we add, Ills? And who added it?
Brandon added something.
Brandon, what'd you add?
Mario Kart 64.
Mario Kart 64. And where did that get, Brandon?
I don't fucking remember.
104. 104.
104. All right.
Look, the one time I don't have to host, I can look it up. It's
instead of me being unprepared, I figured I should just throw it to one of you, and you could be unprepared.
I think I remember the exact number. Come on.
Yeah. So that was last week. This week it's my turn. I get to add, and I love to add topical games.
Oh no.
What a time.
I love to add topical games. All we talked about was Mario. We need to add a Mario game. Specifically one that is getting re-released in 2 weeks. That is Super Mario Galaxy.
You're a piece of shit.
There are 4 people here.
I really thought you were going to say 64, and I was...
I mean,
he can't say 64 because he doesn't have...
I don't have a full opinion on 64, so I can't add 64.
Oh, that's true.
What a dog shit person.
I will have a full opinion
Also
soon
true.
enough, and you'll be able to follow me along on stream. I'll talk about it later.
Mr. Super Mario fan doesn't even...
It's the only one I haven't played, okay?
Holy shit,
I have
dude.
played all the other ones. It's just Mario 64. But anyway.
Have you
So you're
not played
telling me-
Mario 64
I'm putting you to
DS?
shame right now.
Anyway, Mario Galaxy.
You have
though.
played Mario Galaxy, though. Okay.
We have all played Mario Galaxy. I was hoping Saf would be here. I thought we'd have a full crew today. And I'm so excited because, Saf loves Mario Galaxy. We all love Mario Galaxy. But Saf
Yeah,
is...
You hate Saf.
Saf is
If you
Mr.
don't
Mario.
love Mario Galaxy, I fucking hate you.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
amen.
gonna say.
So this game, in my opinion, is the best game of the last generation. Now, you don't have to agree with that statement. But I think it is the best game of the generation. And I think what we can all agree on, it is an all-time great, right?
Wait, did you say Galaxy 2?
No, well,
I'm so confused.
No, I said Galaxy 1, and Galaxy 2 is the one I consider better, but, I conflate the two. Super Mario Galaxy, but I am talking about the first one, because that's the one that's getting added in the collection. I think this is the best game of that collection, I'll say that much.
Yeah, 2 should be there, and if it was added, it would be the best.
So it's definitely above Sunshine, which is on the list.
One above
Well,
Sunshine.
Sunshine's...
One above.
Yeah.
But I really think, and I don't think it's very controversial to say, this is one of the greatest games ever made, period. Right? This game is a platforming masterpiece. So, it came out on the Wii. This is the premier Mario game on the system. And they...
Once again, I'm put question marks all over.
What?
I don't understand.
Galaxy is the premier.
Everything I say
Mario-
also applies to Galaxy 2, okay? But...
You can't do that.
Galaxy
Two
1
separate games.
We're talking
they're
about
very close
Galaxy
to
1, though.
But everything I've said...
No, but you're saying like it's the best on the system.
I said one
And
of.
he's right.
He's wrong.
No, he's not.
All right,
Right.
all right, okay.
God.
It is one of the best games one of the two
Thank
best games
you.
on the system. Okay, it is one of the two best games of the generation.
There we
There we
go.
go.
It is one of the two premier Mario games on the system. Okay,
No, premiere means literally the first one.
but yeah,
It
Premiere
always
means
is.
first. I think Premiere is not that controversial to say. This was the one that the big marketing campaign, right?
I think
This
there's
was
two definitions for
it,
premiere.
it was the first one, and they really made a splash with this one, right? Like the first time you go through Mario Galaxy is it's just magical. It really is just magical, you know, exploring these space environment. I mean, first of all, the scope of it, right? Like you're just so wowed that you're going on an interplanetary adventure, right? And the game does such a good job of selling you on that, right? You really feel like this is bigger than life, right? Mm-hmm. This is bigger than anything Mario has ever done, right? And I think Mario Galaxy does a phenomenal job of selling that concept. And it does that with the level design. It does that with the themes of each level. It does that with the story. I mean, I think this is one of the most interesting stories that Mario has ever had, right?
It does that. I don't want to cut you off. It does that with that orchestrated soundtrack.
I mean, that was next, right?
Fucking love it.
The orchestrated soundtrack is, I mean, this is one of the finest soundtracks Nintendo has ever put out, right?
Beautiful.
Is it
Beautiful.
the best Mario soundtrack?
It's up there. I mean, I think so. I think it is.
Can't argue with it.
I can't argue with that. Like, this is the best Mario soundtrack, you know? It really nails that feel. But I think the best part about it is it all comes together in a cohesive package, right? Everything just adds on to each other and enhances each other, you know? Into this just fucking amazing adventure. I don't know. This game is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna be slobbing this thing's knob for about 30 minutes, so please be excited. When you're doing something like Mario Galaxy, right? There's the planetoids, there's the new stuff, right? There's the more traditional Mario style things like the Honey Hive Galaxy, but I think the things that stick out are the planetoid world galaxies, right? And it can be really hard to introduce an idea like that and with control that's intuitive and understandable to a mass market, especially, right? I imagine it must be so difficult to just program and to make, but also to design for. And I think that Galaxy is such an interesting idea because in the same way that like 64 obviously is a jump for all of video games because it's 3D, right? I get that. But Galaxy takes that same, I think, you know, that same approach of 64 did of how do we make it where people understand without a ton of tutorialization how to maneuver in this new type of environment. Galaxy captures that. It does that in the same way, in a way that I think is incredibly difficult for anyone to do, you know? And I think they do it as well as you could reasonably ask of any company out there. So, yeah, just wildly impressive from both like a design standpoint and very fun to play.
The observatory sucks.
No, it does not. What are we
not
talking
great.
about? No, I
mean, it's the weakest part of the game, I think.
It's the weakest part of the game. I still like it, though. I think
The
it...
music in the observatory music though is amazing.
yeah.
I think that...
But yeah, I mean,
I think it is definitely the weakest part of the game. I'm not going to argue with that. But it's also the smallest part of the game, right? It's like really like... It's just your hub world, right?
sure, because I mean, it's not as good as like Peach's Castle.
Yeah.
You know, it's not as good as Delfino.
Isle Delfino.
Sure. Yeah, 100%. But
Yeah.
I do prefer it to world maps.
Well,
But-
I'm not here to argue.
I'm not even saying about Galaxy 2. I'm saying
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Odyssey has world maps too, and I didn't like the world maps.
Sure.
But I think the Cosmic Observatory, part of the reason that I'm attached, I guess I get defensive about it in a weird way, is because I think that when I think of the Cosmic Observatory, it sort of exists to give context and understanding to Rosalina, and I think Rosalina is one of the best additions to the Mario cast that they've ever had since like Wario, really.
Yep.
I mean,
100% agree.
I loved the little backstory storybook, the storybook that showed Rosalina's backstory in the game. You know, I really...
Miyamoto's fucking mad.
Miyamoto's so fucking angry because he did not want that in the game, but I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really great.
I think Rosalina is definitely one of the most charming characters to come from this era, and the Luma especially, and her relationship with the Luma's really, really.
I mean, I think she is. I think she is the best Mario character. Period. But we're not here to talk about who that is. But
rank them right now.
Yeah, rank 'em right.
Separate list.
That'll be our next podcast.
Guess who's back, by the way?
Who?
Donkey Kong Jr.'s back. Just want to put that out there.
Donkey Kong Jr. is going to be a Mario Kart Tour. That's part of the anniversary.
Congrats to
I'm sorry I forgot about Mario Kart Tour. I know it's a big part.
Oh, we forgot about the amiibos too.
Oh yeah, 3D World's getting Cat Mario and Cat Peach amiibo. Okay, no. I think that is the.
Will the amiibo work in Mario Galaxy?
Yeah. No, they will not. Okay, but Mario Galaxy. I mean, Rosalina is just. I love her. I'm so glad that they added her. She's my favorite thing about this game. I mean, she's my favorite Mario character, right? And I think that she's a wonderful addition to the cast. And I just think they wrote her very well, which is weird to say about a Mario game and a Mario character, right? Is that they wrote the character well.
Yep.
But here we are. Mario Galaxy does that. And I think that does make it. I think Mario Galaxy's narrative does make it stand out in terms of Mario games, right?
Yeah.
Because that's not what they're known for, right? Even if you say it's an optional extra or whatever, but still.
Yeah, it's not exactly like front and center. It's not like the most important thing about the game.
No.
I think it contributes to an overall tone, though, right? Yeah. And I think Galaxy 2 made the smart decision to go in a different direction, right? Because I think if they just continue,
you can't just I think right?
No, Galaxy 2 is way more happy and flamboyant. Galaxy 1, like there's like a sort of
I mean,
like an underlying sadness to it.
Yeah, there's an underlying sadness to it that I think Rosalina's story really like solidifies, right? But sort of space is kind of beautiful but sad, right? And I think it sort of captures that, like being alone in this beautiful but empty space, on just a lot of different levels throughout even the game itself. I think it does that.
Can we talk about how pretty this game is, by the way? Like, they're remastering this game, and literally all they're doing is just upping the resolution. They're not changing it. They're not doing new textures or anything like that. That alone, this is such a pretty game. It is crazy that a Wii game stands the test of time as well as this game does visually, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, where do we want to put it? I guess I got first dibs, huh?
Yep.
Just rip the Band-Aid off already.
Go for it.
I want this game above Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Hey, Moose. Me too.
Same. All right, we got two. Number 3.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, Brandon does not agree. Ills, where are you feeling?
Can we put it below Resident Evil 4?
I mean, I'll think about it.
I would say under Ultimate, but also I'm okay with Resident Evil 4.
Is that
I want it as high as I can get it.
I want it as high as we can get it. Yeah, is my thing. I mean, so here's my problem. I
put it at number 1 then.
Well, no, not that high.
No.
It caps out at under Breath of the Wild, of course. But
I don't think it's better than Ultimate though. Nah, I can't.
Ultimate Online is doo-doo.
The online is doo-doo.
Why are there so many modes in Ultimate I will never play? It makes me sad.
You're not the only one playing it. That's why.
Well, why can't we play it online? Why, Sakurai? Why?
The buffer, Sakurai. What are you doing about that?
I mean, okay. Here's the problem. I haven't played RE4 or Dark Souls, so like I can't.
Yeah.
Like I can't be like, oh yeah, for sure I want it above. Right. But I'm definitely willing to put it below Ultimate, but like I just don't know about how I feel about it versus Dark Souls or RE4. I legitimately just don't know. So like, I know I want it above Automata.
Is one of my favorite games of all time. So it's like,
yeah.
So was Super Mario Galaxy though. So, it's two of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. I've replayed both of those games many times.
Neither as much as Sunshine, though, which I think says the Sunshine should maybe be 3.
Sunshine should go lower. Fuck you.
How dare you? How dare you?
That game has... I could fucking write a...
Wait, both you and Muzzy wanted to go lower. How did it get so high?
I wasn't even there for ranking Sunshine, so it's not my fault.
How did it get so... I don't want to think about Sunshine. God damn.
don't want to think about that
Well, you
game
have
because that game has a lot of shitty shit in it.
Yeah.
So, and we're talking about good games.
We're talking good games here. I mean, so you guys are hard to get. Well, the ultimate conversation is 2-2 though, which makes it hard.
Yeah, because if it goes below ultimate, then suddenly it's a 3-person conversation.
But I think that if it goes below ultimate, I wouldn't want it any lower than that. Is my thing.
But you don't.
But again, I know I haven't played. I'm aware. I mean, I've played them. I never got.
I mean, I for me, RE4 peaks really high, right?
The village.
The village, great. I think when you get to the laboratory, it suffers a little bit, right?
Whoa, the laboratory's great.
No, I don't.
The castle's great.
The castle.
The laboratory made me. There was legitimately terrified in some parts.
Yeah, but I think Galaxy. There is a consistency throughout Galaxy that I really admire, right? And I think there's also, both of them were jumps forward for their series, right? I don't want to take away RE4, obviously, what it did. But I think that Galaxy, there's just, when I think back on my time with Galaxy, I remember so much of it, right? And it's also varied and different, but I enjoyed all those different things that it was doing in a way that I respect a whole lot.
I'm gonna say
I don't know how to argue against that.
I'm with Ills.
I wish Saf was here to break the tie.
Or make it a tie.
I'm really with Ills here. I think I'm below Resident Evil 4.
But then again, the problem becomes: do I even want to put it below Smash? And then we're at a standstill.
Someone call Saf.
God damn it, Saf.
Someone call Noah. I could just shout for him if you want.
I mean, I know what Noah thinks. So. Okay.
So don't call for him. Okay, I get it.
Maybe.
How do you guys feel about between Dark Souls and RE4?
I'm willing to make the compromise.
I haven't played Dark Souls, so I can't say.
I think a lot of what you said for how good Galaxy is applies to Dark Souls. Like, there's a lot of.
I have a big feeling that if I play Dark Souls, I will think that it goes above Dark Souls. Those things.
Uh-huh.
But
yeah. I mean, Dark Souls has a lot more rough
that might be a
edges
whole
to
thing
it,
of
right?
I would rather want Dark Souls down, though, not do I think it's better, because I think Resident Evil 4 is better. So that's a whole nother thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at that point, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, Ills and Will, are you willing to sandwich it between RE4 and Dark Souls?
Sure.
I already indicated I'm willing to compromise.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, he said that already.
Okay. All right. So that's where we're gonna put it, I guess.
All right.
Top 5. So I'm just gonna count the top 5 then, right?
Yep.
So, number 1, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild and Super Metroid. They are tied. How often do we get to say that out loud?
Yeah. We try to avoid it as much as possible.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is number 3. Number 4 is Dark Souls. Number 5, our new number 5 is Super Mario Galaxy. Sorry, RE4.
The whole
You got
top
bumped
10.
down.
RE4
Now-
and 4,
Top
those
10.
days feel so long ago.
And now Earthbound is out of the top 20.
Oh,
that hurts.
Oh, what a tragedy. Oh, well, it happens. Okay, well, that was the list, and that was the podcast. Who wants to take us out, and who wants to do the plugs?
I'll say the final phrase.
Okay,
Okay. Wow.
Bills. Can I do plugs?
go for it. Will, plug.
Okay.
Hi. If you made it this far in the Jump Up Supercast, hopefully that means you enjoyed it. So that means that we would really appreciate it if you gave us 5 stars on your podcast service of choice. In addition, we have a twitter.com/jumpupsupercast where you can follow us to know when episodes go live every Monday and every other Thursday with the Jump Up Supercast Game Club. They just uploaded an episode this week, a Phantasy Star 4. The End of the Millennium, is that what it's called? Is that the subtitle?
Yep.
There it is. And then what's the upcoming game you're going to be playing for the Game Club?
Style savvy, fashion forward.
Style savvy, fashion forward.
Yeah.
That was a pick from one of our patrons. If you go to patreon.com/jumpupsupercast, you can help give money to us every month to help keep the podcast going. You get to be in a Discord server with us. And if you're also willing to contribute, you can put your name into a raffle to get to pick a game for the game club to play once every go round. So once every 8 weeks, give or take, right? So that's pretty cool value. You can for 3 months, you can make them play Style Savvy. So that's
I'm not mad
cool.
about it.
Not mad about it. That's good. And then besides all that, of course, we have a twitch.tv/JumpUpSupercast, where, as Moose mentioned, in 2 weeks, they will be playing Super Mario 64 for the first time ever on stream. So that'll be neat. In addition, Brandon streams very often as well. He does a lot of great work there as well. So check it out. And then Facebook.com, Instagram.com. You know, you can find us at Jump Up Supercast on all those platforms. So there are the plugs.
Dang. I guess I'm not gonna get a transition. What the fuck?
Bills, take us out.
Okay, well, thanks. I think we get to say for one last time, as a group, we should say so long to Mario saying so long, Gay Bowser.
So long.
So long, Gay Bowser.
So long, Gay Bowser. I'm gonna miss it.